Man, this episode was conflicting. I think it was definitely the best episode of the season, outside of the previous one being the flashbacks with Joel. And it is riddled with problems, if I'm being honest. But the ending itself was so solid that a part of me is just so hopeful that it will get better in season 3, but I gotta talk about the problems first. First of all, the opening scene with Dina and Ellie just fell flat on its face for me. Maybe just me. I couldn't understand what Bella Ramsey was saying. I had to put on subtitles just to understand it. But even then, I just didn't like their whole interaction. It just felt really flat for me. I didn't like that Dina at first was egging her on, then hated her for telling her the truth. I just didn't like that whole interaction. But on the other hand, I really liked Jesse and Ellie this episode. Jesse was definitely the highlight for this whole episode. His arc in this one episode was great. He shows that he's a great guy. We get some great scenes of him explaining his backstory, why he believes the things that he does. And he kind of serves as a pocket arc to show Ellie what a good person actually looks like. And I enjoyed that. And the actual scene where Ellie and Jesse split up and go separate ways, I think is decently well acted, but I don't like all the dialogue that is being exchanged between the two of them. But where this episode gets really weird is the actual boat sequence to the aquarium. Ellie takes a super small boat to go to the aquarium in the middle of like a hurricane, and this humongous wave knocks her off the boat, and I'm sorry, she just dies there. There is no way she gets through that. There just isn't. I know she knows how to swim now because Joel taught her, but that doesn't mean she's a strong swimmer. And even then, you could be the strongest swimmer in the world. No shot you're living that. And then I'm like, okay, she's just gonna wash up on the aquarium, right? But instead, she washes up on the Seraphite Island, and then she starts to get hanged by the Seraphites who think she's a member of WLF. And at this point, I was super confused because I'm like, oh, I guess she's just dead again. But in the middle of hanging her, because a gunshot goes off in the distance, they leave her armed, even though they think she's a member of WLF. If the Seraphites are actively fighting WLF, why wouldn't they just quickly off her? They're at war. It's just this odd moment of severe plot armor that serves no purpose other than to show that that child is part of this, which is a bit ridiculous. But then we actually get to the aquarium, and I'm going to be honest, I like this scene. Again, I stand behind my point about Owen. I hate Owen. He is the most insufferable character in the game. He gets himself and his pregnant girl killed because he can't get over his ex-girlfriend. Not a fan of Owen. And I know the whole C-section part of this episode is kind of getting the internet in a frenzy right now. I need more time to think about it. I'll definitely have better thoughts on this in my YouTube video that I'll post tomorrow. But I think I like it as far as recency bias goes. It adds another level of tragedy to this scene. And while I can definitely see an argument for people preferring the way Mel dies in the game by attacking Ellie, me personally, I think the scene works for what it is. The impact is definitely felt. I thought it was a good scene. Which brings us to the final or second to last scene of the entire episode. And this was a one-to-one scene from a video game, and it was well done. Jesse's death broke my heart yet again. And aside from the muscles that I do wish were there, Abby is perfect. Perfect. This actress does such an amazing job portraying the pure rage and just raw emotion that she feels in this moment. And she absolutely nailed the "you wasted it" line. Just spectacular. Can't say enough good things about Abby. But then they end this episode by showing us Seattle Day 1 from Abby's perspective, I guess to tell the audience that hasn't played the game that, yeah, for the next season, we're going to be doing all of Abby's perspective. Which I honestly thought was a bit of an odd decision. I thought it would have made a lot more sense to just end the season on that cliffhanger and start next season from Abby's perspective. I'm not sure why they ended this episode the way they did. I think they could have just ended it on the shot and started season 3 with an Abby flashback with her dad. But yeah, I enjoyed parts of this episode. Mixed bag for sure, definitely not perfect. But there were some good things here. And more than anything, what this episode is telling me is while Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin, all the writers that worked on these last 2 episodes, while they're not perfect, they're far better than just Craig Mazin. So I really hope they make some shifts with the writing for the next 2 seasons, because if they don't, we're going to be getting a lot more of the first 5 episodes, and it's not going to look good. I cannot get over how unbelievable of an actress she is. It's just, wow. I really hope season 3 is good. I've had so many comments of people telling me, no, you don't. You want it to be bad so you can make money. And I genuinely don't. I really hope season 3 is good because I get so much more enjoyment out of praising things than hating on things. But yeah, what did you think about the episode?